All right, all right. So let's see here. Now I have a few things open already. I was working on this electric guitar. And that's like 3 different rhinestone templates. Like, you know what I mean? Yep. Well, or you can make it into 2, you know what I mean? All right. So I'm gonna open up a new session, or a new workspace, should I say. Come on. All right, there we go. Now, when it comes to working with text, you have a lot of different options. Like, so over here on the left, this A right here is where you will use your text tool to start with.
No, I can't see. I only see you.
Oh, hold on. All right, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Share screen. Boom. There we go.
All right, now I can see it.
All right. So over on the left side of the screen is your basic tools. At the top, you have your pick tool. Your pick tool is what will allow you to select items on the screen. So right now, there's nothing on the screen, but if I use my pick tool, I can draw this square and size it up by just moving the mouse and by left clicking and just holding it and dragging it. I'll be able to select whatever. We also have, if you hold down the pick tool, we also have this freehand pick, which allows you to now draw this sort of a circle around what you want to select. All right, you'll use that feature. You'll use that tool a lot, the pick or the freehand pick. I've never used the free transform, but in the future I'll learn it, so that I can help people with it. All right, the next one down is your shape tool. Now I can tell you, I use this maybe 20% of the time. You know what I mean? If I don't remember it, I don't even use it. Like, you know what I mean? But it allows you to shape the objects in different ways. The next one is the crop, which includes the knife and the virtual segment delete. I use this 8% of the time. Like, in 10 years, like, I've never really used it. I just really started using it here lately and still haven't quite mastered it. So I haven't used the knife. Okay. So next one down is the freehand tool. Now this tool you'll use here and there, you know what I mean? And then, like, you're not going to use half of these tools. You feel me? So a lot of people, they look at the toolbar and be like, oh my God, what is all of this? I don't know all of this. Trust me, you're only going to use what you need. So right here, let's start off. We're going to draw ourselves a rectangle, right? And we're only drawing this rectangle. Up here in the left is, you got 2 areas up here in the left. The first area is X and Y coordinates. I never pay attention to the X and Y coordinates, but people typically get those confused with the inches, which is next to it, which is the left, the width 14.25 on mine, and then 18.583. Now, if I grab this handle here on the side, where you can see that it turns to an arrow going left and right, I can change the width. And we're going to change the width to 11.375. That's good. 11.375 because most people are using 12-inch cutters. So I believe the rollers left to right are like 11 and a half. You know what I mean? What kind of cutter you got?
Silhouette, Cameo 3.
A Cameo 3? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a 12-inch cutter. So most things that I design, I try to keep them within 11.5 inches in width. Because I know most of the vinyl that I'll get will be 11.5 inches. You know what I mean? Or will be 11.5 to 12. All right, so I'm bringing it down to, let's go, if it's going on a woman's shirt, let's go about 13. All right. Now this still may be big if you're putting it on a small t-shirt. You know what I mean? So we'll adjust the size depending on what you're putting it on. So I always go with the first shirt. Like if I'm making a rhinestone shirt for a medium, then I try to size that design up for that medium, but also so that it can fit a large or extra large or maybe a 2X. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Without looking too small on the shirt. All right. So we have our box here. That's just the size that I'm sizing it up to. We're gonna delete that later. Like so now here we have our next in the line. So that was the rectangle tool, you know. Then we got our ellipse tool, which draws circles. Then we got our polygon tool, which draws stars and polygon shapes. I rarely use the polygon. I use the circle when I'm trying to create a design like so. All right, hold on, let me show you. Because 9 times out of 10, you will be doing text, but you want the other stuff to go with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way I did this Monopoly, oh, you can't see it. It has that border around it. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the text. So sometimes you might, I guess, to make it look better, people add like the squiggly lines and stuff. You know what I mean? So if I was doing a circle design, I can grab this ellipse tool, click on it, and if I just grab it and drag, left click and drag, as you can see, it it will create a circle or oval or any type of shape of a cylinder. But if I hold control when I drag, it will make a perfect circle. After I make that perfect circle, I can click on my select tool or my pick tool. I can hold control again and drag this corner in right here. Did I do it right? Hold on. I think, wait a minute. All right, so right there, I just pretty much drew a circle, but it's not a complete object yet until you weld it. So then once you weld it, you can change it to a color like so. Boom. So I just click.
Welding into it.
The welding, it pretty much, it made it into a solid object. Because right now they were just lines. Right now that's just lines. If I double click on it, I can't even work with any of the nodes. It's still just. But once I weld it, boom. Then I double click on it. Now I'm able to grab these nodes and move those nodes. So you'll see here. Now I can click on this. And if I hold down control, or it's not control, if I hold down shift and drag it in and right click, then I just made another circle equal to that. And I can change that white. And now we have that circle to play with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because now we can take the text tool. I clicked on the text tool and I can click in here and say capital I space got 99. Yeah. We'll drag that 99 out like so, so that we made it bigger. And now we're just gonna sit it right there. I got 99 problems, right? We're gonna put problems in all caps. Uppercase. We're gonna leave that right there. Now I'm gonna just click on it, drag it, and right click without letting go of left click, and it makes a copy. I got 99 problems. Then we have the but. And I'm coming back up here to my select tool or my pick tool, and I'm deselecting, and then I can grab it and left click, drag, and right click, and makes a copy. So I got 99 problems, but closing, you said closing?
Yes.
Let's do closing and all caps as well. All right. Now how did you word it? Did you say isn't one or ain't one?
Ain't one.
Ain't one. AI.
Yep.
One. Okay. Now we go back up here to the pick tool. Now here's what I like. So when you're using this selection tool, right? When you're using the pick tool, I can go in there and I can select. Well, let me put it on the pick tool. I can draw a box around this. I got 99. And it only selected I got 99 because I only selected that inside the box. The purple circle, in order for me to select that as well, I would have to select the entire circle. But then it's going to select everything else that's in that box. So everything that's in the box right now is everything except for problems. Because I don't have problems selected because the square is not encompassing the whole word. So watch this. I just drag everything out, right? But then you can also go in there and just put a box around but. Boom. Put a box around closing or select but closing and ain't one all at once without selecting anything else by just being selective about what you put your box around. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all of the words without selecting the circle, like so. Once I got everything selected, because each line of text is its own line of text, I can hit C and center it all. Boom. While I still have everything selected, I can right click right here on this X in the center, right click, and I can group all of that text together now. So now when I click on the text, I can grab it all at once. Here, another thing, I cannot use my selection tool now to select ain't one because it's right. It's connected. It's all grouped together. So in order to select it that way, I would have to take the whole box around it. All right. So now I'm gonna click on anywhere in the text. I'm gonna hold down Shift and click on this purple circle here. So now I have them both selected, and I'm just going to hit C again to center it, to center the text to the circle. All right. Now I'm gonna right click on the text and ungroup it because I mean we don't like how it look. We want it fancy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna click on the text, and up here in the Rhinestone wizard, we have this drop over box. You know what I mean? This expansion box. These two arrows at the top that opens up our font menu.
Oh, okay.
Now I have a lot of fonts. I'm a font hoarder. I go shopping looking for fonts every day, so I have a lot of them. Dafont.com. You familiar already? Yeah. DAFONT.com.
And
That's
then you
right.
can into the wizard.
Yep. Yep. Once you download a font, let me show you. Let's go to the fonts. That's neat. The High Christmas with the reindeers. All right, I'm gonna get that. I just hit download. It downloads down here. I click on it. It opens. I double click on the open type font file, or it might be a true type font file. It opens up, and I just hit install. When I hit install, I remember the name of the font, High Christmas. And then when I'm back in Coreldraw, I'll go to my find font section and just type in HI space C, High Christmas. There it is. Boom.
Well, that was easy.
I know, right? So that's how I get most of my fonts, is go right to the font. Huh?
That's easier than getting it into Silhouette.
Oh yeah. I like it. It's pretty streamlined. So let me see here. I'm just going to go through the fonts that I have and choose something that's, that's kind of slick. That one ain't bad. That one ain't bad. I'm up in my favorites right now. So every time I find a font that I like, down here, you can add it to your favorites after, right there. You can add it to your favorites after you've selected it. So let's see here. There we go. We're going to cream some regular. That's kind of slick. It's kind of huge. So now I'm going to just grab that arrow, that corner, and just drag it down. And it's still selected. I'm going to hold shift, select the purple, and hit C to center the black text to the circle. Boom. I know it looks kind of big right now, and that's okay, because I'm here to show you some text tricks, right? So the next one, I like to use maybe sometimes 2 fonts, 3 at the max, like, you know what I mean? So right now we'll probably change this butt to a crimson regular as well. Hold shift, select the purple, hit C to center it. And ain't one, let's change that to crimson as well. Hold shift, select the purple, and C to center it. I got 99 problems, but closing ain't one. All right. I'm selecting everything I want to see. So it's 10.958 by 10.958, which is good. You know what I mean? Right. I thought we were gonna, depending on how much time we're working with, we're still gonna do a rectangular style as well. But I want to show you the circle because there's some tricks. Like, we can grab this ain't one, right click on it, don't left click, right click and drag it to the edge of this purple here, let go, and it asks you got all these options. The one we want is fit text to path. Once I click on that, now it put the ain't one up there, but we can click on the center of it and drag it down here. Now I know it's upside down and backwards, but now we can, up here on this toolbar, you'll click on mirror text horizontally and then mirror text vertically, and it flips it. So now we just drag it, click on the center again, and just drag it down. When you see that red line pop up, that's when you know that it's centered. Boom. Okay. So I got 99 problems, but closing ain't one. Now we got the the ain't one pretty much down here, circling around the circle, like, you know what I mean, which is cool. We can do that again with the I got 99 and put 99 up top. So we'll right click on it, drag it, let go. Okay, let's see here. Let's right click on this, ain't one, and then convert to curves. So now it's separate from the circle. Before, it's still part of the circle because what we did was we added it to the circle. So if you click on this purple and you try to move it, it's gonna move the purple circle with the ain't one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now this circle here was we drug that in and we made another circle. So boom, that's another circle that's inside of that purple. What we can do is we can click on this area here, this blue, hold shift, click on the purple, and now we can use up here in our toolbar. All right, so up here in the toolbar, let me deselect. If I click on, all right, without clicking on anything, all right, so I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can. I think this is where a lot of people get confused. And I'm gonna just spend a couple minutes on it, right? So this toolbar up here, right now with nothing selected, it just gives you a general layout of your workspace. As you can see, it's 26. I have it 26 by 22. That's the size of the workspace. Without selecting anything, if I come up here and I change that to 50 by 50, watch when I hit enter, it just changed the size of the workspace. So without anything selected, all of this is just workspace measurements. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's once you click on something that it changes, and it would change with everything that you possibly can click on. You'll have options up top. So if we click on this square here, it changed. It shows you the X and Y coordinates of where this square is on the workspace. If we move this square down here to the corner, you see that number is changing, the X and Y up in the top left, and it's only, now if we put it all the way down here, that's 5.946 by, well, let's click on it, 7.062 compared to the workspace. That's its location.
Okay.
To the right of that, we get the inches, the width, and the height. And to the right of that, that's the percentage of that box. You can lock it and unlock it like in Silhouette. Here's the lock ratio here. And then you can, let's add, I'm going to weld it. I'm just going to add this, do it like that, and add some color to it. Because the next one I want to show is your, so this flips it from left to right. And then this flips it from top to bottom. I use those a lot, you know what I mean? When I'm when you're just playing around with text or playing around with anything and you want to flip it, you know what I mean? Sometimes you might write the text and then flip it to give it like the shadow effect. All right, let's click back on this box. Right here is the outline. So it's got a fine outline on it. If we right click on this X here inside the design wizard, we can get rid of that outline. And also it shows up here that there's no outline on it. But we can put a thick outline like an 8 point on there. Now you can definitely see the outline. So the outlines work great using the outline feature, especially if you're doing anything sublimation, because you know you can print it out and you'll still be able to see the outline. But when you're dealing with vinyl, I don't want the outline on there because it confuses me and makes me think that I got purple and black vinyl to cut. You know what I mean? All right. So with everything that you click, this up here would change. So you want to, when you click on something, you want to come up here and see like, what can I do with it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can add that outline back on there. And then the next one over is, I guess, like arrowhead outlines. And then right here, like you can dash it to where it's dashed, you know what I mean? And play with they got all of these dash features in there. So never get discouraged by when you look up top, it's something different. That means that go through it one by one by one. Like, you know what I mean? When you click on it, it's gonna pop up and tell you what that button does. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how I learned. Was I went through it and was like, create boundary, what does that do? Boom, I hit it. And I see like, okay, Control Z. You know what I mean? I don't know what it just did, you know what I mean? But let's take this outline off. If you click on this and you hit this create boundary, it actually does create a boundary around it. So now there's two of them actually, in a sense. That's the boundary, and then that's the original. And I can just, color that in. Now I got two of them. So I didn't know what that button did at first. You know what I mean? Wasn't sure until I was, I play around with something and Control Z it back, or never plan on saving it. Just spend 20 minutes tinkering. Right? So we don't need that. That was just an example on how to flip it and bounce it. All right. So, all right, those two are still connected. We're going to take this blue because we want it to be white in there where we weed that area out and we just got the purple circle. So to do that, we have to, they call it slice on Cricut Design Space, or some people call it the cookie cutter function, but you're going to click on one object, hold shift, click on the purple object, and then up here we have, oh, okay. So when you add this text to this circle, it's still all grouped together, like so. So what you want to do is you got to click on the text, right click, and then convert the curves. So now the text is separate than the circle. All right. So now I can take this blue circle, click on the blue, hold shift, click on the purple, and then I get the option up here to trim it. What I just did was I just trimmed that blue, cookie cut it right through the center. We don't need this blue anymore, you know what I mean? Because this area is representative of the shirt. So we got two color vinyl if we were to cut it out in vinyl, you know what I mean? All right. So now I can take this, I got 99, right click, drag it to the circle, let it go, and fit text to pad. So now I got 99 up top, ain't one below. And with these three, I can just pretty much grab them, and let's say we're gonna make the problems a little smaller. And actually, visually, I think that'll look good with maybe a script of some sort. So up top we have what's the E? I forget what the E is. Edit text dialog. The U is uppercase. The L is lowercase. The T is title case. Boom. The 2 is, okay, so over here in the Design Wizard 5.0 Pro, when you hover over anything, you want to keep it hovered, but then resort your eyes down here to the bottom line. because when you hover over whatever, it tells you exactly what that button is. So change the title case, it pops up down at the bottom of the design wizard. Change to vertical, you know. So if you ever forget what the button is, just remember to look down at the bottom of the wizard. All right.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to look for, oh, that ain't bad. I can tell you right now, you can spend hours just trying to find
Big font.
a font that works. So I'm just gonna pick one. I think I like that one. All right, and I like it to be sort of going through the circle, and you'll see why, because we'll trim that in a minute. So I'm clicking on problems, holding shift, clicking on the circle, and just hitting C to center that. All right. We got closing down here. 99 problems, but closing. All right, but we're gonna make closing bigger. So let's see how that looks with that same fonts. And title case. There we go. And that's the key word right there of the text. So I'll make that the biggest one. Hold shift, click on the purple and center it. I got 99 problems, but closing ain't one. You know what I mean? Now, real quick, that's pretty much ready to go if someone was cutting that out in 2-color vinyl. You know what I mean? Because you can layer that right on top. You know what I mean? But to do stones,